Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gage.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. I'm your host, Captain Gage. This is episode number 24, brought to you in part by Cito Huntington. Are you a member? Visit Cito.com to join today. And the Fisherman Magazine, my favorite magazine to get in the mail. Go get your subscription today. And Clicks Fueling. Visit clicksfueling.com. What's up, everybody? I can't believe we are just 19 days away from opening day for striped bass. The weather's warming up. I didn't uncover the boat last week. That's going to happen this week, and I said I'm going to hold off with some of the weather and watch it. I don't care about the rain now. That doesn't matter to me. But last week, I put out the fishing report. And obviously people watch the fishing report of the magazine and they go to stripedbassinvitational.com and they registered their boat for the Bay Rats and Buoys first annual Striped Bass Invitational that's going down on Sunday, June 22nd. I am super grateful for everybody that did register their boats already. And we're also grateful for the sponsors that are jumping in. We're going to get into that in a minute. But the registration wasn't even done on the site yet, so there was 3 little blue buttons that were, on one of the pages. And if you clicked on it, it took you to the payment form where you paid and you registered and you were done. You're in. You're in the tournament. That's it. And guys did that without me even having the forum on the site, which is so cool, man. That's how much excitement is being built about this tournament. The word is out there. Sponsors are sharing the video. I'm going to be able to thank guys like Tony Maja. He shared the video on his social media account. So anybody that's getting into the sponsorships and joining us, everybody is collaborating. And instead of just sharing my post, we're sending them the video and letting them post it directly on all their social media feeds so you guys can see who's involved. And we love it. Big shout out to Gabe and M&G Marine. He jumped into the first fish caught division. He sponsored that. So if you go to the sponsorship page on the website, that's already sold. We've gotten a ton of bronze and silver sponsors. Big shout out to Mike at Deckett. He jumped on board. Davy Jones Shellfish Company, Jacob, Volpe Marine Service, a big shout out to Nick. He's on board and we're very grateful. So if anybody in the Northport Bay, Northport Harbor, Huntington Bay, Huntington Harbor needs mooring or dock service, there's nobody better than Volpe Marine. Reach out to Nick. We got Clicks Fueling. They're going to be putting one of these in each of the 25 tournament buckets that we have that are going to be loaded with sponsored products, guys. And, this is $40. So they're donating $1,000 worth of product. That's just one company. That's just one product that's in there. So now you add it up with all the other products that are in there. That bucket's probably going to equate to the entry value for the registration of a boat in the tournament. No joke. That's how good the stuff is going to be. Tony Maja is donating stuff to the tournament. That is awesome. And speaking of Tony Maja, he's going to be putting out there this year there's going to be news released in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, we get him on the boat and get him on the podcast, and hopefully he'll drop a bomb here for you. But they got some big things in the works, and it's really exciting to know and to hear on the back end what's going on and what's happening. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. But again, we hear stuff, we let you know about it, and stay tuned in. That's going to keep you coming back for more because we got some more information coming. A lot of great stuff happening. Who else? We could thank Nautical School. Cito, obviously, is donating a free membership to the prize packages. And anybody that breaks down the day of the tournament, you are going to get towed back into home port for free there. And that's why on the form on the website, it actually says your boat registration number. So when you fill out the form, you got to put your boat reg number there. And if you don't know it, you'll give it to me as you get closer to the tournament and the season. But if you don't have your boat registration number entered into the tournament, you will not be eligible for a free tow that day if you do break down. So that is one of the stipulations there that we have to take care of. And that's why that question is asked. It's also there's a box to check off for gas or diesel. And the reason is we're giving you one of these. if you got a diesel boat, if you got a gas boat, or this is the diesel and this is the gas, I don't know which color. I'd have to go to the website and check because they're not labeled anymore. And my memory from the boat show, are you kidding me? You know how many things? I've created a tournament since then. Jesus. And really, really excited. And you know what's really cool is the competitive spirit. Everybody, we're all competitive. We mentioned that in last week's show. But the trash talking that is going on already is through the roof. It's hysterical. Guys in my marina are saying, you better create a Calcutta so you and your friends could come in second place because they're winning this thing. And they're dead serious. They're not messing around. They want to take first place. They want to win this thing. And I can't win my own tournament. If I get out there and catch a 60-inch bass, do I deserve to win? Absolutely. You ain't beating a 60-inch fish, and I hope you do. But I'm going to be out there tagging with guys on my boat and filming. I got to say, most of the time, we'll probably be doing some really cool stuff. We'll be tagging the fish and making some really cool videos for the tournament. I'm not so much worried about me getting out there and competing against you guys. That's the honest God's truth. You know what I mean? I'm a competitive dude. Don't get me wrong. But I just think it would be pretty shady if the guy that launches a tournament wins it. That just wouldn't be a good look. You know what I mean? So I'm not allowed to enter my fish into the first, second, and third place drawings. That's for sure. Nobody on the tournament committee will be allowed to enter fish into the first, second, and third place drawings. We're just going to keep it legit. And, don't forget, the Fisherman Magazine. Head on over there and get your subscription. They are a top sponsor. Cito, Sand City, Bay Rats and Buoys. And it's going to be an epic event. Really is. Super excited. I mean, the people that I've spoken to already, captains are calling me from Port Chester. Guys, this is a local Huntington shotgun start. We may change the start time. We might. I mean, we're talking to a lot of people. So people are like, hey, why don't we go out earlier? I'm like, yeah, high tide's 8 o'clock. We can go out earlier. It's just a matter we put that time there just because we have to put something there and say, hey, we're going to get this thing going. We could always work out the details. It's a brand new tournament, first annual, which is very exciting. And, there's a lot of unknowns. How many people are registering? So when that form was out there and people registered, and I got to tell you, there's just a little bit over a handful of buckets left. If I was you, and you want the bucket and you want the sponsorship stuff that we're giving away in the bucket, I'd shoot over there and register and secure your spot and get your boat registered. It's going to be quick. It's going to go fast. I want to say by the end of the week, by the weekend, there's enough boats that registered that bucket list might be done. You know what I mean? And you can always reach out to me and ask me. I'm going to be transparent and happy to tell you, yes, you're going to get a bucket. No, you're not. Because we can't ask everybody. I mean, these guys are giving away $1,000 worth of product to put in the bucket. $40 a piece and get 25 of them. There you go. Do the math. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. So guys are sponsoring a lot of stuff, a lot of equipment, a lot of product, and stuff costs money. And the companies that are getting involved and reaching out to us about other ways that they want to get involved. And speaking of other ways to get involved, I got to say, one of the first 5 people that signed up for the tournament, Daniel, you know who you are. I saw you catch bluefish from your kayak. I was 25 feet away from you on the boat. You were ready to hand it off to Chef Rob's son. And, I just got to say thank you. I spoke to Chef Rob. You had reached out to him, and it's a small world. I say that all the time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And we haven't even gotten on the boat in the marina yet. Wait till we get to the fuel dock and start going to the local restaurants that we go to down there every week. I'm down there 7 days a week working, So this is March, and we're already getting a ridiculous response to the advertising and the marketing that we did for the tournament. So it worked. It's out there. Everybody knows we're having the tournament, whether it be the Fish and Wildlife, the DEC. Everybody knows that we're having the tournament locally. We've spoken to a lot of people. even when I was reaching out about the tags, who we were going to, work with, because you use Littoral Society, you have Gray FishTag who jumped on board, and we're going to work together with them. But I had reached out to the DEC because I worked years ago with Zachary in the Striped Bass Cooperative Anglers Group. So guys, if you know a little bit about me and my fishing, I've always been about catch and release, and I didn't have to kill everything, because if I'm not eating it, you're allowed to keep fish. You can. So you're allowed to harvest them, and it's legal, and if you're keeping up with the regulations and you're doing it, that's fine. But for me, I do so much fishing that I don't want to kill everything. I really don't, and I want to make this fishery grow. So the reasoning behind the Bay Rats and Buoys first annual Striped Bass Invitational is to compete for conservation. Okay, we're willing to give you the fish tags. There is a question on the form that says, do you have your own tags? Because a lot of guys are already tagging fish. If you enter the tournament and you have your own tags, that's great. We don't need to give you tags. If you need tags, we're going to give them to you. Okay? And if you don't know how to tag fish, and you want to get started in the tagging and learn a little bit about it, we are going to be posting videos April, May, and June teaching you the process, how to remove the scale, how to use the applicator, how to put the tag in, how to take the information down and get the information in the right spots so that now you can release the fish in a timely fashion. You don't want to sit there and fill out a card while the fish is flopping around on your deck. No, you want to get the tag in them and get them back in the water as fast as you can. So we're going to show you that process, and it really does happen pretty fast when you're prepared. So if you first have to go dig up where are the tags and where is it and go find it in your bins and dig through stuff and get it out with the applicator, it's already too late. Let that fish go. I wouldn't be wasting too much time. And that happens. I get it. On my own personal boat, that happens. When we'll catch a fish and Corey will say to me, hey, you want to tag this one? And I'll be like, no, let it go, because the tags, we're not ready. The tags are not out and ready with the applicator to get put into the fish. So don't make that fish wait for a tag. Get rid of that fish and tag the next one. And that's just my mentality. That's how I think. Get the fish back in the water. I always tell people, when that fish comes out of water, you hold your breath. When you got to breathe, that fish needs to breathe. A lot of people also use the rule of thumb to sing happy birthday. So happy birthday is a short song. If you get the fish out of water, sing happy birthday. By the time you're done singing, that fish has to go back in the water. By the time you're unhooking it and taking pictures and letting it go, that's why the discard mortality number is what it is. So we're trying to help that along. This tournament is going to help you guys learn how to tag fish. Bottom line. So if you want to learn, we're going to teach you. If you want to enter the tournament, you don't want to tag fish, you won't be in the tagging division. No harm, no foul. All good to go. But it is a catch and release tournament. So that's the reasoning behind it. We want to help, especially because we were so close to getting this fishery shut down last year. So if you remember in December, they were voting whether we can fish in April or we can't fish in April for these things. Is there a no target on striped bass, or are we allowed to go out and do what we did last year? And we are 28 to 31. If it's 31 on the nose, it's still a keeper. I spoke to the DEC at the boat show, and we're going to be hopefully we're scheduling it now with them. So hopefully we're going to be at the DEC in Kings Park to podcast live with them from their location and break down some of the regulations and some of the misconceptions that go on that people think, this one's right, this one's wrong. Because there's a lot of keyboard warriors on social media. And, you get a million different opinions. So we're going to go right to the horse's mouth and deliver the information to you right from the DEC. And, you could always go to their website and read and learn, which is the best way to do it. So we're working that out now. And soon we'll have Tony Maja on and those guys. And we got to say thank you to Tony Maja for sharing the video. We really appreciate any of our sponsors that are helping us cross-promote the tournament by sharing the videos that we're putting out on social media. We do have a couple to release now. And as the sponsors come on board, we're adding more and more sponsorship logos to it. And we're very grateful. We really are. So as it grows, we will make more videos and show you how it's growing and evolving. And, we got to thank guys like the Fisherman Magazine and Cito and Clicks and Gabe at M&G Marine and Nick at Volpe Marine. And you got the Nautical School. You got Mike at Deckett. He'll be sharing the video. We're super grateful. And Davy Jones, you got Jacob at the Davy Jones Shellfish Company. He was like, I want to shuck oysters, at the event, and we're working it all out. We're excited, man. There's so many great things going on. There's a captain's meeting. There's going to be some sort of afterwards, some sort of event going on afterwards. And like I said, because it's a new tournament, we're not even down in that area yet. We're really going to work it out with the restaurants in the area and see what's the best plan of attack that we could have that really works for everybody. And again, you get the fish till 4 o'clock. There's no rushing back in to get your fish into a weigh-in station. This is all going to be done digitally, and you're going to be able to see the leaderboard all afternoon long. That's what's really cool about this. So you don't have to rush back in to make a weigh-in station. You're looking to catch the longest fish. And, we're talking about that now. What if 3 guys catch, a 51-inch bass? All right. Well, now it comes down to the girth. And that's why in the rules and regulations we show you that you have to measure from the stop to the tail on the measuring device. And you got to measure the girth of the fish. So that's going to be important. All that has to be photographed and videotaped and reviewed by the committee before we announce who is the final winner for that. So this is all being hashed out. We're working, trust me, and we're getting calls from captains that are asking questions, and they're like, I'm sorry to ask so many questions, sorry to ask this. And I said, no, we don't mind the questions. This is what's going to help the tournament grow, and listening to what you guys, the input that we're getting, it's going to help us steer this thing in the direction that, the majority of the people want to go in. And that's what's so cool about being a first annual, a new tournament to the area. There are so many successful tournaments that go on, that we're going to make sure we cross the T's and dot the I's and do it the right way. And that's why we're super excited to invite you to stripedbassinvitational.com. Scan the QR code in our videos if you see it, and head on over to the website. Register your boat. I can't stress that enough, to get in early. The earlier, the better. It's going to help us as far as we move along at how many people. And even just give me a call. Let me know, I'm definitely in. I'm definitely going to do it. And, in April, you're going to register your boat. That's fine. You don't have to do it right now. But at the same time, I would recommend going in. If you want to get one of the 25 tournament buckets, I would jump in now. We're almost at that number. It's not far off. And if you call me and you want to know, I'll be happy to tell you whether you were within that in that 25 tournament bucket number. And that's it, man. So last weekend I waited weather-wise, and I said, you know what? Doesn't pay. I mean, it's going to be howling and blowing, and the boat's immaculate right now. Under the cover, it's immaculate. And, M&G Marine is coming to the house. They're going to tune it up, and the boat's tuned. That's going to be easy. That's going to be this weekend. And then I'm going to uncover it. And then I'm going to bring it down to the marina. And we're going to splash down. And hopefully next week, or at least if it's not 25, it's episode 26, I am podcasting in the sun on my boat where it all began just 26 episodes, 24 episodes ago from now. I can't believe it. It's really grown and done some stuff since then. We've been to the boat show. We've been to the Ward Melville show where we've launched a tournament. 20% of the listeners are in Brooklyn. Who would have thought? You guys never would have thought that. We're a local Huntington company. And guys that have called me from Portchester that are entering the tournament, give me a shout. Let me know other places that you guys are coming from. I know there's guys coming from City Island and west of us. I've already gotten calls. I know there's guys east of us that are coming over. So, with some big fancy boats. So you better watch out, guys. This is competitive. I'm telling you, there's guys on 17-foot boats out there that have a chance to take the title just because they know where the fish are on a daily basis in my area. And Don't let that scare you. Keep that competitive, but we got to beat them. We can't let them win. And then there's guys in my marina already trash talking that they're taking it. So I want to say to you guys, accept the challenge, register your boat, and come on in and make this a fierce competition, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all looking for. We're looking for a fierce competition here, and a fun one too. We're going to be on a VHF channel all day, hooting and hollering, having some fun, and I think that's where the camaraderie is going to come in. I can't wait to see the antics. I really can't. There's going to be a ton of antics because the guys involved are just next level fun. I mean, stuff you've never thought of. It's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, any of the guys that reached out, it was great talking to you. I appreciate you. I really do. From Frank straight on down the whole crew. And, Kyle, he jumped in. He's right on YouTube saying, yep, I'm in. And sure enough, he was in the first handful of people to sign up for the tournament. So that was pretty cool. That the opening week, we just put it out. We just launched the site. The site wasn't even finished. The form wasn't even up, which is, my fault. We were working on stuff on the back end, and I had to put out the fisherman video. I had to submit that on Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I'm doing the podcast on Thursday. It's got to be up at 6 o'clock. It's Thursday, 3:09 right now. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It'll be up by 4 o'clock. I'll put it up there 4 or 5 o'clock. And last week, I had sent in the fisherman report, and that came out on Thursday. And when people saw that report, they had already shot over to the site and registered their boat. And that was impressive. Really was. Really cool to see that the marketing and all the effort that we're putting into it, people are responding, and the messages that we get, very cool, very cool. So thank you all, really. This is going to be a fun event, and I hope you get involved to some degree. And if you have a company and you want to sponsor and you want to talk to me about your sponsorship, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to hear from you, whether you're a restaurant in the area, whether you own a business, whether you want your business name just to be affiliated with this tournament so that we can get you more exposure. We're going to invite the sponsors on the podcast. So if you sponsor the show, if you sponsor the tournament, you are automatically enrolled to be invited onto the podcast. And if you want to get your name and your exposure out there and tell people your story, it's probably, there's no better way. We'll be happy to get you that exposure and get you on here. Speaking of exposure, I'm also hosting through ISM, the marketing company, a corporate networking event once a month at Oheka Castle. And that's going to be a private invite only. That video is going to be on my Facebook feed probably early next week. The video's done and ready, and now we're just waiting on some of the back-end stuff to match it up, line it up for the marketing, and roll it out. So next week it should roll out. If you do own a company and you want to come to Oheka Castle, I'm also going to be podcasting live on ISM Radio there, talking about the businesses. So if you're an executive and you want to come to this executive networking event at Oheka Castle, check out that video and reach out to us in the comments and ask us for a private invitation, because we do have to invite people privately to keep the numbers at a certain number to start it off. And as that grows as well, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I do a lot of podcasting, guys, a lot of fun. And I could set it up anywhere. I could set it up on my boat. I could set it up in the middle of the Long Island Sound. I am going to do a podcast in the middle of the Long Island Sound this year. I'm going to do a podcast over near the stacks with the stacks in the background. I'm going to go to some great landmarks and do podcasting from the landmarks. And it's all stuff we've been working on all winter long. So there's been a lot on the back burner. There's a lot more to it than just sitting in the studio, which, I tell you all the time, I'd much rather be on my boat. And those of you that know me, I can't wait to get on the water. I'll be out there next week fishing for sure. Once the boat is ready, the temperature, the air temps in the 60s, I'm in shorts and on my boat. Shorts and flip-flops, May 1st. I start with the flip-flops. In April, it's got to be warm enough weather for me to wear the flip-flops. Other than that, I got my Grundon short boots on, and I'm ready to get hitting the foot with the fins and flapped around with striped bass, flapping around on the deck. Oh, man, we've had some epic moments out there. And I think that tug, we all say the tug is a drug, that tug and the fight and the whole unknown of what's below the boat when you're out there, of what is it, and what'd you hook into. And a lot of times you're guessing the fish. That's what's cool. Whether you got a bass or a blue on, you usually could tell by the initial hit, the initial run. Whether it's a spiny dogfish, if you're chunking, it's messing around with your bait down there, and it's just messing around with it. You know what it's going to be. And Larry Chavarro, he's waiting for this Sea Robin tournament, so he can't wait to register for the Sea Robin tournament. Hopefully you get a boat from Freedom on Sunday, June 22nd, Larry, and you enter the tournament, and you get out there and you catch some striped bass. I will invite you out there in April and May to come join us. If anybody wants to learn how to stripe bass fish, we'll be happy to teach you prior to the tournament. Different techniques and different things you could do. So we'll be putting videos out how to tag the fish, all that fun stuff. And if you want to come join me and Corey and go out and fish some of the hot spots in our area and learn some of the spots, by all means, we still put up there on the website that April 15th was still available. We had somebody that did book it and had to cancel because they're going to be out of town on business. So that date is available on April 15th. If you want to get out there on opening day, let us know. We always get on the bass for some reason, and not for some reason, because, we're willing to go find them. We know where they got it. There's only a few areas they're going to be in, and we'll find them. I'm telling you right now, we find them every year. And if they're not in our area, we head a little west. We know where to go. And we'll be happy to share that information with you and teach you some spots and teach you how we do things and how we work our electronics. So it is a good learning experience for people. A lot of guys call me up and they're saying, hey, would you be willing can I hire you to come on my boat and teach me how to do this on my boat with my gear? And the answer to that is 100% yes. I do that all the time. People hire me to captain their boats. Happen to drive some beautiful 38 outrages in the area. Eric and Karen over on the Why Not, one of my favorite boats in the whole wide world. Love driving that boat. That boat's amazing. And so anybody that's in the need for any sort of training, I also recommended last week that you get over there and take care of your boating safety course that you got to do online. That is mandated, no questions asked. Don't tell me you have one from 30 years ago and you're in. You don't, and you're not. It's new. You got to go do it. So just get it over with. My son's doing it. He's 12 years old. He's got to do it, and he wants to drive the boat this year. So I'm going to teach him how to dock a little more this year. Every year I let him drive in from wherever we are. Okay? I'm a licensed captain on the boat. Doesn't matter. He could drive the boat while I'm on the boat. So now that he's of age, he could technically take the boat out by himself, and I'll be working on close quarter maneuvering with him, and my slip is in a nice tight spot. We're in a tight area, and rightfully so. I should be in a tight spot. If anybody's going to be able to get in and out of there, it's going to be me. And I'm not bragging by any means. You just got to know what everything's doing, which way the wind's blowing, what the tide's doing. All of that matters. So comes into play. And like we say, the more engines you have, the easier it is to dock your boat. It's just a known fact. And especially with iDock and all the new technology these days, makes it a lot easier. Speaking of technology, Mr. Cito sent me a picture yesterday, and he was in a dry suit. And I usually wear a 3.5. I think he wears one a little bit thicker because he gets into the colder water at a certain time of the year, when you got to get down there, when you're salvaging a boat or when you're going to do some sort of prop disentanglement or an anchor disentanglement. He's got to dive on it. You got to have the right gear on. And it was pretty cool to see this dry suit. I mean, it looks like something out of NASA. Super cool. But, hey, listen, when the water's cold, you got to stay warm. And that's one of the most important parts is putting on a dry suit in real cold water. So the magic temperature for the United States Coast Guard, I believe, is 65 degrees. If it's below that, I think they have to wear their float suit when getting into the water. Anything above that, you would not be required to wear the float suit, which is a big orange NASA-looking thing. And it's because of the water temp. It's fatal. So you have to remember that. When you got fatal water temperatures, you got to be careful. So this time of the year, I am going to put on my 3.5 when the water temperature hits a certain degree, and I'll be along the shoreline snorkeling, looking, seeing what's there, seeing if we got any flounder, any fluke, what's there. May 4th, I believe, is the opening of fluke season, so that's not too far off now that we're real close to striped bass season. But again, I recommend this time of the year, everybody go get your reels, get your rods, get everything taken care of. Go to your favorite local tackle shop, bring it in, get it done now. Don't expect to walk in there and say, here, can you get this back to me tomorrow? Because they've already got guys that dropped off 5, 6, 7, 8 reels, and you got to wait your turn. So that's what's happening now. So I would go do that. Make sure you got your lines all spooled up and your reels are greased. Make sure the boats are taken care of, ready to go. I can't wait to uncover it so I can load everything onto the boat. I even have lures here. I have stuff sitting here in the studio that I brought in to show you guys, and I can't wait to get it back on the boat. Get out there and catch these striped bass already. It's going to be a fun season. Really looking forward to it. And the fact that we have a tournament is even cooler. So head on over to stripedbassinvitational.com and register your boat. Get signed up for the tournament now. Don't wait. And it definitely helps us out. The more that sign up early, it's really going to help us. So I can't stress that enough. And again, if you're looking to sponsor and you want to get your company involved, reach out to me, or you could head on over to Striped Bass Invitational or SandCityCharter.com. Click the word tournament up there next to homepage and drop down to the bottom of the tournament page. There is a banner you could click on for sponsorship. That will take you to the sponsorship page where you can check out the sponsorship packages, and you could fill out a short form there and reach out to me, and I'll get that email, know you're interested in a sponsorship, and I'll reach out to you and we'll discuss it, see where you're at, see what you want to do, see how you want to help our first annual Striped Bass Invitational. Pretty cool. Thank you to all the companies that have already helped us. And to those of you that are interested, I can only say that we're going to do a lot of advertising for it and a lot of social media. And you also get invited on the podcast. So you'll be sitting on my boat right here next to me, and we will be discussing what you do and how your company is involved in this awesome tournament that's going down on Sunday, June 22nd. Let's go. Let the games begin. But you know what? It's the trash talking that's starting now. So this is awesome. I can't wait to get down to my marina. I really can't. I really can't wait to see everybody, because they're all going to be telling me that they're winning the tournament. And I'm going to tell them, no, you're not. This is who I am. No, you're not. You're not winning. You're not beating me. I'm very competitive. I just beat the boss here at the studio. I just beat him in basketball out there. And he was, a professional football player. And he's a big dude. He's played basketball, but he chose football. He was up in the Jets camp, and he was a good player, good athlete. And I just whooped him in basketball here. That was a game of horse. Let's not get carried away. It wasn't anything crazy. So, again, we're all competitive. I tell you every week, we're super competitive. Even here at the office, we're competitive. So I can't wait to be down at the marina, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode number 24. But before I go, last week, halfway through the podcast, I brought up, some of the sponsors and guys that do some really great stuff for us. And one of the companies that does great stuff for us is Clicks Fueling. And I got a call from Big Joe in the marina, and he's like, yeah, my boat burps up all the time. I saw what you were showing on the the podcast. He did say he was going to tune into this episode, of course. He said he's registering for the tournament. I got to work on his anchor. I got to break out the old splicing tools and work on his anchor so he can get it through his windlass. And got to put a new anchor on his boat this year, so I got to help him out with that. But Clicks Fueling, you're going to pop this into where you put the gas in your boat. You don't put it into a rod holder and put gas in the rod holder. That's a no-no. Does it happen all the time? Yes, it does. But you're going to put this into your gas tank, okay? And then you're going to put the nozzle in here. And this device is going to help your boat from burping up gas, therefore not putting gas in our water, keeping it clean. And you know what the phrase is, right? I say it every week. Clicks is the fix. And I love that. I love that phrase. You guys did a great job, Stephen and Howard, with Clicks is the fix. I love it. And Justin, too. I I always talk to Justin. And Howard said he wants to get involved in the tournament. He wants to show up. So at some capacity, I don't know whether it's going to be the captain's meeting, and it's going to be great to have the sponsors there so that you guys can meet and greet and talk to them and, see, the guys that invented these products and making cool stuff. It's going to be really cool to have a nice event. So we're looking to do it at the right venue and do it the right way. And that's that. But again, Clicks Fueling, guys. Head on over to clicksfueling.com and check this out. If your boat is spitting up gas or burping while you're filling it up, Clicks is the fix. This is your solution. And Rich over at Windcoat, I'll have these. These are on my table right now, but they will be on my boat. One's going on the towboat. One's going on the Sand City charter boat. And I'll have them down there at Windcoat Fuel Dock making some cool videos showing you guys how they work. And I can't wait for that too. So I love talking about our sponsors in the podcast because without them, where would we be? You know what I mean? So I when I believe in a product and I represent it, I talk about it, I tell you about it. I'm even willing to go show you and make some videos. And that's why the Diet Coke's on here. You never know when you're going to drop dead on a podcast. God forbid. I'm not on wood like I do every week. There's my thing. You know that. So, I think that's it for episode number 24. I'm going to wrap it up just by saying, hey, head on over to BayRatsandBuoys.com, SandCityCharter.com, StripedBassInvitational.com. In the video, you'll see a QR code. You could go to any of those websites, guys. And they will take you to all the same information. So that's why I could say that to you. I'm not trying to confuse you that you need to go to all three. You can go to any one of them. You can go to Striped Bass Invitational to sign up for the tournament. You go to SandCityCharter.com to sign up for the tournament, or you can go to BayRatsandBuoys.com to sign up for this amazing first annual Striped Bass Invitational. So until next time, the boat's getting unwrapped. I'll let you know when I splash down next Thursday. I will be back here to put this up at 6 o'clock. And wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines, and I'll see you out on the water. Have a great day. See you next week. Captain Gage over and out.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. Be sure to visit SandCityCharter.com. and follow Captain Gage on all our social media channels.